Well, we are back with Chamber Live today after a little hiatus.
It's like it's been a hot minute.
Hot minute. Yeah, it has been a hot minute.
And
it's a hot minute now. Super hot. So we've got some awesome stuff coming up with the Chamber in the next few months.
Yeah.
We've got what? We've got
Well,
Kids Expo.
Kids Expo, yep, in August 2nd, coincides with the Piedmont Healthcare Friday After 5 concert.
Yeah.
And the Kids Biz Expo is just a fun opportunity for kids in school, K through 12, to come out, set up a fun little vendor booth, sell their goods, their wares, their plants, their books, their art, whatever they may have. Food, yep. That is sponsored by Doosan Bobcat and Randy Marion. We've got a link on our website where folks can go on and sign up. There's just a $10 vendor fee. We set you up on the lawn right beside the church, and all those fantastic folks that are coming down for the concert that night, bring cash with you.
Yes.
And frequent the little vendors and spend all your money there.
Although they're pretty savvy, these little kids. They've got that Venmo and Cash App going on. I know Amy's daughter did it one year.
She did the first year.
She did. She made birdhouses.
Oh, how sweet.
And the proceeds went to Fifth Street.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's super fun.
So you can do a project like that, or if you just want to do a one-time setup, pop-up. You don't have to be an experienced entrepreneur. This is an opportunity to learn how to be an entrepreneur and how to talk to people and sell. And let me tell you, nobody's turning these kids down.
Nobody's, right? You show up with your artwork and just talk to folks, and they're so excited that you're out there. And really, they're excited that they see kids that are out there engaging with other adults and just being little entrepreneurs. It's super fun. So that coincides with our next Piedmont Healthcare Friday After
August
5.
2nd.
So we skip July because it's hot. And we hope to manage some better weather in August, some breeze, right?
Absolutely. I'm a great band.
But for this month, what we've got coming up, we've got a few ribbon cuttings coming up. Today, June 26th, we've got Ardell Adult Day Services. They've got a ribbon cutting and a milestone announcement that they're going to share with us. That ribbon cutting's at 4:30 today at 502 Brevard Street. Thursday, we're excited. We've got business after hours. We're going to be down at Bottles and Taps in Troutman. And the way we do this business after hours is it's a networking opportunity because we have multiple businesses co-hosting. So it's Bottles and Taps. We've also got
New Image Services.
And they're going to be down there. Excel Realty Group's going to be down there. So it's just a fun time to come out and network and enjoy everything that Troutman's got going on down there with Bottles and Taps, and learn more about some of the services that New Image Services has and Excel Realty Group. So that's today. Nope.
Thursday.
That's Thursday.
Tomorrow. That's tomorrow.
Gosh. That's funny because I just think, June is almost over.
This is the last week of June.
June is almost over. And in July 1st, we start out with a ribbon cutting for Fourth Creek Music. That's going to be at 11 a.m. at 859 North Center Street. That's in the Forest Heights Shopping Center. Miss Gina Terry, she was just on our Chamber Chat radio show and she was just so cute. She brought some instruments and just shared with us a little bit of the science behind, the benefits of music and movement with your young children, infants. So we're gonna be doing her ribbon cutting. And then July 2nd, we have our Chamber Connection on Caffeine. This is a morning networking opportunity. Think of it as Chamber, on Caffeine. We're going to be down
those coffee, those that love their coffee in the morning, who are like not the night owls for after hours or can't make a lunch meeting. This is their time.
This is their time.
Their morning time.
We're going to be down at Your Coffee Place in Troutman also for that. That's going to be 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Your Coffee Place at 403 North Main Street in Troutman. So. That's just a few things that we have coming up. Another great opportunity for the area is we're going to be launching, or we have launched the applications for our 2024-25 cohort for Leadership Statesville. Have either of you attended? Have you participated? Amy, you were part of what year?
It's a great program. I don't even remember what year. It was the best year ever.
That's what they all.
Yeah.
Were we in it together, or were you in it the year?
I think the year before.
So the year I got here. So that would have been like 18, 19 probably.
Yeah, I think it was the year before
I think you're right. Yeah. Have you done it, Michelle?
I have not, but I do plan to do it next year.
Yeah, I know you've been working on some other credentials, so I know
have.
that's kept you super busy. But yeah, it's great. We're excited.
Yeah.
We already we accept up to 25 participants. I always joke and say that's just how many we can fit on the buses because we have 2 vans that the city lets us use, and that's how many can fit. But it's also a good number. So that will kick off with an orientation in August and retreat in September, and October the first class day. So we're about halfway there. We still have spots open for that. And that's a great committee that puts all that work together. So and they're already making change. They make tweaks every year. So it's a totally different program than even when you and I both went through like back to back. We've changed it up a little. So
Yeah, great opportunity. Great opportunity, not just for if you have an employee that kind of fits a bill of maybe business development or sales, or just in a higher capacity of needing to be have some community engagement, but it's also great for directors, just to connect with the other folks that are participating and learn more about Iredell County. Really.
Well, Fifth Street's always on our stop. Y'all always host us, and we have a great time with our youth leadership. We're also doing that too, along with our adult program. So it's Fifth Street's always a good partner for us to share what y'all do with everyone, and that's part of the reason we have you here today.
Yeah,
is to learn. We take it for granted, I think, at the chamber, especially because we seem to know a lot of stuff that everybody knows about everything. And we're learning that there's so many new people moving into state. So Amy and I live in the same neighborhood, so we can tell you there's probably not very many people from Statesville that live over there.
No.
I know in my cul-de-sac, they're all from somewhere else that live in state. They have moved to Statesville, made it their home. So I'm like their Statesville calendar and ambassador, which I would, I'm happy, which is a wonderful role for me. And they're like, hey, where can we go get XYZ, or what's going on in downtown tonight, or have you eaten at this restaurant, so, but not everybody knows about what you guys do.
Right.
So we wanted to, you guys have been a long time partner for the chamber, so we want to learn more about what you do and tell people who maybe don't know what you do the story behind Fifth Street Ministries.
And really just for our listening audience or our viewers. So we have
I'm
Michelle
sorry.
Knapp, the Executive Director of Fifth Street Ministries, and Amy Fries. Amy, are you Community Engagement?
Assistant Director of Operations.
Assistant. Thank you so much. Assistant Director of Operations.
Yeah, it's exciting. New position
Fantastic.
there for you.
It is.
Ah, yeah. So share with us, Michelle, a little history.
So a little history is Fifth Street Ministry started in 1990. Our corporate name is actually Diakonos. Diakonos is a Greek word that means one who serves.
Okay.
And so when we came to Fifth Street, or Statesville, it actually was founded in Burnsville, North Carolina.
Okay.
And came to Statesville, and the building we were in was on Fifth Street, so hence the name, Fifth Street Ministries. Started out as just an overnight shelter, and it quickly went from there. We realized the need and developed a soup kitchen, a domestic violence shelter, and programming for domestic violence and sexual assault. And that program is called My Sister's House. And My Sister's House provides shelter to victims of domestic violence, men and women. We also provide counseling, court advocacy to help someone file an ex parte order, walk through the court system, do the interview with the police. And then we also offer group therapy, and case management. So all services are available to any victim of domestic violence and or sexual assault, whether they need shelter or not. So we serve quite a few people outside of the shelter, and we also have an office in Mooresville. So we are serving the Mooresville population directly in Mooresville, where we hadn't been doing that in years. So we started that almost 2 years ago, and we provide counseling and group counseling in that location. as well as one of our advocates is down there. So we have a Mooresville dedicated advocate as well. So it's a busy program. We serve about 600 people a year between the shelter and counseling and advocacy. So it's a pretty busy program down there. We also have expanded again over the years to provide a street outreach program. So that's called PATH. And PATH program goes out into the community. They provide resources to individuals living unsheltered, whether they're in a car, whether they're living in a tent, abandoned building, wherever they may be, we provide services to them. And as part of that, we provide referrals. We can give them transportation, whatever they may need to receive the benefits or services that they may need, that they may be eligible for. We do also try to get them to come into the shelter, but not everyone can live in a group congregate living. That can be difficult for some people to live in that type of environment. So we also have the PATH House. So the PATH House, which is right behind our shelter, they provide laundry services to individuals, again, living unsheltered, showers, internet access, food, snacks, and case management, of course. So again, that's a busy program. We serve about 200 people there a year that we outreach. So it's quite a bit going on. I don't think a whole lot of people realize we have this many homeless in Iredell County. So we serve all the way to Harmony, Union Grove, down to Mooresville. So they seek out individuals. They work with the police department to find those that need our services. So in 2016, we, with a partnership from the Housing Authority and PVAC, Piedmont Veterans Assistance Council, we opened the Veterans House. And so the Veterans Transitional House is a 6-bedroom home. We can house 5 veterans, and then there's a live-in house manager. And so that program is now funded through the VA, the Veterans Administration. And we provide intensive case management, life skills, and whatever the person may need to get them ready to be successful in their own home. And so, again, we serve, and since 2016, we've served about 94 individuals through there. We have a pretty high success rate of over 90%, because it's such an intensive program, and we want them to be ready. They can live there up to 2 years, so sometimes it takes people a little bit longer to be ready to live out on their own. It depends how long they've been homeless. A lot of people have been homeless for quite some time, and it just takes a little bit of time and get over the anxiety. Sure. Sometimes it's tough to go live on your own and manage your own finances and pay the rent, and little anxiety there. So we work with them to be good neighbors, to shop on a budget, cooking on a budget, that sort of thing.
I think I need to go take some.
Yeah.
Especially that shopping on a budget.
Right, I know.
And cooking. Those are 2 hard things for me.
Yes, it definitely is.
Yeah.
So our main program, though, is our shelter program that originally started back in 1990, and it has grown. We have a 150-bed facility. On the other end of 5th Street now, we've moved out of the old building, and we have a new building that was built in 2008, thanks to this community for helping support that endeavor. It was quite a fun capital campaign during the recession.
That's right.
So,
Great.
And so we have a night shelter in that building, and the night shelter for individuals that move in or that are just becoming homeless. So it's single individuals. They check in at 6 o'clock at night. They check out at 6 o'clock in the morning. So they can't be in and out of the shelter all day. Once someone begins receiving income or creates a housing plan or maybe has a disability of some sort, we're able to move them to the other section of the building, which we call Step Up. And Step Up is a sober living area in the building, and so we do drug tests before they go in, and we drug test them monthly. And that's just so we can ensure that they're saving money, they're working on goals towards housing. Again, they get life skills training, they get all sorts of different opportunities, case management, so that they can be successful in housing. And then we have the family shelter. The family shelter operates a little bit differently. So they are on a 30-day. The first 30 days are kind of night shelter rules, but they can be in and out, of course, during the day. But then after that, we do kind of a sober living contract with them and do the drug testing and make sure their children are taken care of and their needs as well. So we have a dedicated case manager that manages the families because it is a different population that we serve, and they have different needs than the single individuals. And of course, there's a soup kitchen on site. We have a nurse on site that helps people manage their medications, gets them into medical appointments as needed. And we work with Contegra very closely. Contegra is one of our largest partners. They provide all of the services to those that we serve for free, and whether it be medical appointments, psychiatric appointments, and medication. So great partnership. Contegra has been an amazing partner for us over the years.
Michelle, let me ask you a question. I want to backtrack just a minute because you said, was it Burnsville?
Burnsville, yes.
Burnsville. So what prompted the move? And where is Burnsville? I don't even know.
It's in the mountains.
Okay.
And so Patty and Gary West created Diakonos, and the goal of them creating Diakonos was to be kind of a hub of resources and supplies for other nonprofits.
Okay.
Well, and then they received a call from here in Statesville and said, we have a need. I think the old shelter that was in place was closing. Oh. And so it was called the Jubilee House many years ago. And so they received a call. It was closing. What can you do to help?
Yeah.
Well, they picked up their family and they moved on out here and started Fifth Street Ministries.
Wow. Well, that's. So were there any ties to Statesville other than that phone call?
I don't believe they had any ties to Statesville at all. I'm not sure how that transpired, but I just know they were asked to come out and help the community.
That's
so
great. And now and then all the things you've just described, how amazing you've had that much.
Yes.
Well, it's amazing, and at the same time there's a need, so there's that challenge.
There is definitely need. So we do have a new program that started this year. It is our housing program. So we are able to house homeless individuals in rapid rehousing. So we're able to assist them with up to 2 years worth of rent.
Wow.
And utilities, whatever they may need, case management. So that's a great program that we are doing. We're also doing permanent supportive housing. That's for individuals that have been chronically homeless, which means they've been homeless for 12 months or longer within a 3-year period, and have a mental illness. So that's permanent. Once we get them qualified for the program, get them into housing, that's a permanent program. And so they receive, again, case management. They pay a portion of the rent to live in that housing.
So is that all on your site? That housing
it is all on site, yes.
Okay.
So
well, within your
footprint
that you have out there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So.
I didn't realize that. I'm assuming there's probably been a big uptick, especially mental health issues, because of just not having a lot of resources for them to go to. So y'all probably see a lot of that.
We do.
And providing those resources is key.
Yes.
I know advocacy is also, and going back to my sister's house, one of the things that we learned by the Chamber of Commerce's Leading Ladies group brought the My Sister's House on as the nonprofit for the year. And one of the things that we learned was that you are notified by the police department or by the magistrate that there's a need or a person, male or female, that needs your services. So you go out and My Sister's House locates them or provides them with the information that they need to come and either are housed at the shelter, or they also may be able to use some of the services, which includes the counseling, but there's something about helping them to understand just their rights, right? And how they can navigate through that. How do you
the system? It's tough. Most people don't know the system and how to navigate it, and that's why we have 2 advocates that help work them through the system.
Yeah, advocacy I think would be a huge part of that for someone who's in fear, living in fear, stress, just all of it.
Yes.
So to have that advocate part is huge. So really grateful to have learned about that. So
it's a great program. So it's been in operation for quite some time. And my sister's house came from Patty West. She named it my sister's house because she was in a similar situation many, many years ago. And she went to her sister to find, a safe place. So she named it my sister's house after her sister. There's meaning to just about every program and service that we provide.
Amazing.
We are, what I think has been a really cool project is your tiny homes. If you want to talk about that.
Okay.
Are we at that place?
We are at that place. So our tiny homes is a partnership through Purple Heart Homes. Purple Heart Homes came to us a couple years ago and said, we would like to give you 2 tiny homes. And we said, well, of course. That's not something you would say no to.
Exactly.
We just so happened to have a piece of land across the street from the shelter, and we placed those 2 tiny homes there. And they opened in 2022. We had 2 veterans move into those homes. And they're 2 years. It's a 2-year program. Their 2 years is almost up, and so they'll be moving on to their next phase of life in housing, and then we'll rotate a couple more in there. The house is 320 square feet. It's fully handicap accessible. Has a full bathroom, a full efficiency kitchen, a bedroom, washer and dryer, everything.
It's
that
pretty
you need.
amazing how compact that is.
They are so cool. I would love to live in something like that. Less stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Less stuff.
Less stuff
to
is
clean.
less cleaning. Yeah, for sure. So this year we now have 4 more coming our way, and they placed them on their foundations last week. So we did have another piece of land, again, behind the shelter that is actually part of our Path House property. And so they placed 4 more tiny homes. It took us a minute to get through all of the red tape and paperwork to get through the city, but we survived, and now they're in place.
Yeah.
Hoping to have them finished by August.
Right.
And have a ribbon cutting the second week of September. So we'll get together.
Do you
and
need
plan
some
that.
help with getting those upfitted for?
We do.
Yeah.
So we already have at least 2 that are adopted. That's what we're calling it. And when you adopt a home, you fully furnish it. The washer and dryer is already there, so there's no need to furnish that. But complete everything in the kitchen, the furniture as far as a little couch, a little kitchenette, the bed, and then whatever supplies. We do have a large list of everything that we feel is necessary in the homes. So 2 are adopted for sure. The other 2 are kind of iffy. I'm not sure. I think we have some people of interest that want to do it, but But we also are still needing funds to, just because the homes were donated to us for free, there is still a lot of cost involved with installing the homes. That was our responsibility to do that. And so we do still need some funding for that. Someone can name a home if they want to donate $25,000. So we already have one that's named.
Nice.
And we'll love to name the other 3.
Watching, so I got to see a video yesterday at Rotary whenever you and Colleen were there, watching them put the tiny house on the foundation. And I'm like this the whole time going, nervous, anxiety watching this, like, because it has to, they use a crane
And just
and just kind of place it. But you go, there's a magic to it, I guess, for making sure it sits perfect. So you don't,
And then you've got the guys down there kind of adjusting it and getting it where it needs to be. So
it was pretty neat.
It was it was nice to see that. And
watch them put that down.
If someone's interested in donating or be a part of that program specifically, how can they learn more about?
So they can either go to our website and donate through our website, or they can call Colleen. Colleen Schaefer is our development director, and she will give them all the information they need.
Fantastic.
What else did y'all want to talk about today that we maybe missed?
Oh, there's something coming up in July.
Yes.
There is. So Christmas in July. A lot of people know about Christmas in July when it used to be at the Civic Center, but we are now doing it at our campus. So it's at 5th Street. And it's a drive-through lunch, so just picture going to Chick-fil-A. It's a lot like that.
Yeah.
We put the number on your windshield and
Love
everything.
it. Love it.
We don't say it's my pleasure, though, I don't think. We'll add
Need
that
to
this
implement
year.
that.
Can
That's
you
all
start
right.
saying Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or something? I don't know.
So it's a drive-through lunch, and then we have an online auction. And we have tons of really great stuff for our auction this year. So we'll end up with probably about 125 items for our
wow.
auction.
Really?
One of them is a Blackstone grill, which is really popular
Yes.
these days.
Yep.
We just bought one ourselves. So that's one of the items. And then we have some smaller items too, some gift baskets and things like that. So there's something that hits every price point.
Aren't
so
there baked
everybody
goods
can-
too?
There are baked goods. Really good baked goods. Yeah, so all kinds of cakes.
Nice.
All kinds
A
of
little something for
cupcakes.
anybody, right?
Cakes.
There are.
When does the auction
There
go
are.
live?
It goes live the evening of July 12th,
All right.
that Friday, and it will run a little over a week. It'll run until the Tuesday after Christmas in July, and that's on the 21st.
Okay.
All right. So last question. What's next for Fifth Street? what's your vision, Michelle?
my biggest vision right now is affordable housing.
Yeah.
And whether it be more tiny homes or duplexes or something that we are able to be a part of, that is the most important thing, is get people housed that can't afford $1,800-$1,900 a month
And
for
that's
rent.
about what they're doing.
It is pretty tough, especially for individuals that only make that receive disability and only get
Yeah.
a little over $900 a month. And imagine trying to budget that.
Right.
And so I would love to have a tiny village, tiny home village.
Okay.
That is something that we have talked about for some time, and there. So looking for funding for that and
Okay.
opportunities for that. But that is my goal, is to
Wonderful.
have
Affordable
more
housing.
options for individuals that can't afford the high rent.
Absolutely.
And once again, where can we reach you? Website and phone number.
Website, of course, is www.fifthstreetministries.com.
Is Fifth spelled out?
It is completely spelled out.
okay.
So it's .com, though, instead of
.com.
.org. So
Okay.
just make sure you get .com. And, or you can just call us at 704-872-4045 and ask, and our receptionist can help you with anything that you may need.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Well, thank y'all for being on the show today and giving us an update and a history of the Fifth Street Ministries.
so much.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you for having us.